All right, so on the screen is the menu that we are going to be using, and I'm actually going to pop this in the chat for you right now. So you have the link to the slides, so you can open these up on your own computer and use them so that you kind of have an own copy, you know what you're doing. So what we're going to do is you have 3 different categories on here. Like it was a menu, and you are going to choose one activity from each category, and then you're going to complete it. You're going to have 10 minutes to do this, and you are going to go through and pick whichever one you are more in the mood for today, whichever one you think will help you more. So you have 2 options for breakfast, 2 options for drinks, and then there's only 1 option for the snack. So you do have to tell me in the chat what your favorite thing about this week has been. When you finish this, you have a link up here to a Google form. You're going to click on that, and it's going to take you to a check-in. They're going to explain to me, or you're going to kind of just tell me how you're doing today. So how are you feeling? And then you're going to tell me which activity you chose for each category and how you felt afterwards. So it's going to be a little bit of an analysis. While we're doing this, I'm going to put a 10-minute timer up on the screen. You have these slides in the chat, so you have access to them on your own. I'm going to put the timer up so that you know kind of how much time we have left, but feel free to minimize Zoom and focus on your activities. Just make sure that you know about how much time you have left and when you need to be back so that we do all get back together. And then after the 10 minutes, I'll give you an additional minute or 2 to get that Google form filled out so that you have time to really focus on these activities during that 10. Do we have any questions before I let you go on this one? The only thing you're writing in the chat, Jacob, is the response to the snack. The rest of them you're just going to do on your own. You can write, the 3, 2, 1 on a piece of paper if you would like. You can write the things you're thankful for, all of that stuff on a piece of paper. So you do not have to do that in the chat. You're just doing this in the chat. Okay. And yes, Carla, to answer your question, so you're picking 1 from each category. So you're either going to do a mindful minute or a 3, 2, 1. You're either going to do light work or would you rather, but you need to do 1 from each category. And then you need to do the snack as well. Any other questions?
Wait, which one do we have to write down in chat?
The option for the snack. That's the only one you have to put in the chat. Okay?
Snack one?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to put our 10-minute timer up. You guys can go ahead and get started on this. Please let me know in the chat if you do have any further questions. And then make sure that you get that check-in done as well. But like I said, I'll give you a few minutes at the end to do that. All right, guys, so that's our 10 minutes. A lot of you put your responses for me in the chat, so that is awesome. Right now, I'm going to give you 2 more minutes to make sure that you get that Google form filled out. So remember, there's a link to the Google form at the top of the menu. Go ahead and get that filled out so you can kind of check in with me. I can see how you're doing, but also so you can do a little analysis about how those activities went for you. So you have 2 more minutes to do that portion, and you're filling out the Google form at the top of the doc. So this is the Google form that they are filling out. When they are done, they're going to put their name so that I can associate it in case there's anything I need to check in on. They're then going to rate how they're feeling today. Let me know if they want me to check in with them about how they're feeling. Some of them may put a meh or a bad and not really want to talk about it. And some may really want to use that response to reach out. And so this is their way to kind of tell me that. Or other, they can kind of explain why they chose what they did. And then here's where they just kind of do a brief analysis of what activity they did and how it made them feel. This will allow them to kind of see, hey, if there's a particular thing that made me feel better, if I was having a bad morning, then maybe this is something I can do on my own. But also this is a way for me to see what works for them and to kind of hold them accountable for actually doing this during that 10 minutes. And then here's an example of a student response for this that they just did. And then their analysis of kind of how they felt after each activity.